Starting your career late might be the best financial decision you ever made. Here's why most people have it completely backwards. What's up, Roof Money Pros? Mike here with Roof Money Pro. Ever feel like you're behind because you didn't start building wealth in your 20s? Yeah, so did I. My 20s weren't about wealth. They were about survival, not strategy. When I first stepped into roofing sales, I was pushing my mid-30s, a Marine vet and finance grad trying to rebuild from scratch after the pandemic. But here's what changed everything. Once I found roofing sales, everything shifted. And the truth is, starting late isn't the disadvantage everyone makes it out to be. This video is your late starter's playbook, built from real experience to help you turn roofing income into financial freedom, no matter when you begin. My mission is to help roofing professionals like you maximize your careers and build wealth. And if you're ready to stop making excuses and start building real money, smash that subscribe button because what you're about to learn could change your entire financial trajectory. Let's flip the script on this whole I started too late mindset. Because honestly, starting your wealth building journey later might actually give you an edge that the early starters never had. Think about who you were at 22. Would you trust that person with a big commission check? Probably not. That version of you might have blown it on a truck with a lift kit, a vacation, and a closet full of gear you didn't need. But the version of you starting now, you've lived through some stuff. You've made mistakes with money, maybe credit card debt, bad car loans, impulse purchases you regret. Those lessons weren't free, but they made you smarter. Now, when the money hits your account, you're not thinking like a kid in a candy store. You're thinking like someone who knows money disappears fast if you don't have a plan. The people who start building wealth at 23 spend years figuring out what doesn't work. They chase shiny objects, crypto schemes, day trading, multi-level marketing nonsense. They waste their 20s going in circles. You're past all that. You've already seen the game people play. You know the difference between real opportunity and garbage wrapped in marketing. That clarity saves you years. While other people are still figuring out the basics, you're ready to execute. When you walk into a sales situation, you carry something younger reps don't have: life experience. You can relate to homeowners because you've dealt with the same stuff they have. You understand the stress of a major home expense because you've been there. That relatability closes deals. And in roofing sales specifically, homeowners trust experience. They're not handing a $20,000 project to someone who looks like they just graduated high school. Now, no offense to the young bucks crushing it out there. They want someone who's been around, who knows what they're doing. Your age is an asset, not a liability. Now here's the mindset shift that changes everything. You're not starting late. You're starting ready. You didn't waste your 20s. You spent them gathering experience, learning hard lessons, and building the mental toughness that younger people simply don't have yet. Every job you worked before roofing taught you something. Every financial mistake you made gave you wisdom. Every challenge you faced built resilience. Now you're bringing all that into a high income opportunity. That's not starting behind. That's starting with advantages. Let's talk about why roofing sales is the perfect vehicle for late starters to build serious wealth fast. Most careers require years of grinding before you see real money. You start at the bottom, slowly work your way up, and maybe by your late 30s, you're finally making decent income. Roofing sales flips that entire timeline. You can walk into roofing sales with zero experience and within 6 months be making more than people who spent 4 years in college and another 10 years climbing the corporate ladder. A solid roofing sales rep can easily clear 6 figures. Top performers, they're hitting 200, 300 grand, sometimes more. That rapid earning potential is exactly what late starters need. You don't have 30 years to slowly build wealth. You need to compress the timeline. Roofing sales helps you do that. Now let's get specific. Say the average roof replacement costs $15,000 and your commission is 10%. That's $1,500 per deal. Close 2 deals a week, which is totally doable for a competent rep, and you're at $12,000 a month. That's $144,000 a year. But here's where it gets interesting. Once you get good, you're not closing 2 deals a week. You're closing 3, 4, sometimes 5. You're also upselling. Better materials, additional services, referral bonuses. Suddenly you're not $144,000. You're pushing $200,000 or more. The math works. The income is real. The question is whether you're willing to put in the work to make it happen. Now here's where most people mess this up. They have their first $10,000 a month and think they've made it. They upgrade their lifestyle to match that income. New truck payment, bigger apartment, eating out every night. Then the slow months hit and suddenly they're scrambling. High income without high discipline is just a recipe for high stress living. The difference between earning more and keeping more is all about habits. You need systems that protect you from yourself. This is the gap that destroys most high-income earners. They confuse earning with building wealth. You can make $200,000 a year and still be broke if you spend $210,000. You can make $80,000 and be wealthy if you only spent $50,000. Keeping more is about controlling the gap between what comes in and what goes out. That gap, that's where wealth lives, not in your income, in what you keep after everything else is handled. Now let's get into the stuff that trips people up. These are the landmines that blow up your finances if you're not careful. The first is lifestyle creep. This is the big one. After years of scraping by, you finally start making real money. It feels amazing, and your brain immediately starts looking for ways to celebrate that success. New truck? You deserve it. Nicer place? Why not? Take the family on vacation? Absolutely. Before you know it, you've got 5 new monthly payments and your $6,000 a month income is suddenly not enough. The trap is thinking that because you earned it, you can spend it. That's not how wealth works. Wealth is built by keeping money, not spending it. And here's another mistake people make. They get excited about investing and dump all their extra money into the market before they built healthy cash reserves. Then life happens. The truck breaks down. You have a slow month. Suddenly, you're pulling money out of investments at a loss just to cover basic expenses. Your emergency fund isn't optional. It's not boring or unnecessary. It's the foundation that lets everything else work. 6 months of expenses, minimum. Once that's locked in, then you start investing aggressively. Roofing sales pros often operate as independent contractors or small business owners. That means taxes aren't getting taken out of your check automatically. If you're not setting aside 25 to 30% for taxes, you're setting yourself up for a disaster come April. Same with budgeting. You can't budget the same way someone with a steady paycheck does. You need a system that accounts for variable income. Ignoring this reality means you're always stressed about money, even when you're making good income. And here's the lie people tell themselves. I'm making more money, so I should live better. That's not wrong, but it's incomplete. The real statement should be, I'm making more money, so I should save more and invest more, and then enjoy a slightly better lifestyle with what's left. Most people flip it. They upgrade their lifestyle first and try to save whatever's left over. Spoiler alert, there's never anything left over. For me, the turning point came when I realized that every dollar I spent was a dollar that couldn't work for me in the future. That debt payment wasn't just $500 a month. It was $500 a month that couldn't be invested. Over 10 years with compound growth, that $500 payment represented hundreds of thousands in lost wealth. Once you see money that way, your decisions change. You stop asking, can I afford this? And start asking, is this worth more than what this money could become? This is where the rubber meets the road. How do you take inconsistent commission checks and build consistent wealth? Remember this acronym, FEAST. It stands for forecast, expenses, allocation, selective budgeting, and time optimization. This is the system that turns chaos into consistency. Forecast your income by looking at patterns. Pull up your last 12 to 24 months of earnings. You'll see trends, busy seasons and slow seasons. Map them out. Know the KPIs you can control to get the results you want. Expenses need tracking. Not obsessive penny counting, but you need to know your baseline and trends. What does it actually cost to run your life every month? Housing, food, transportation, insurance, the essentials. Get those numbers locked in. Allocation happens the moment money hits your account. Before you do anything else, that money gets divided up. 25% to taxes, 20% to savings and investments. The rest is living expenses and discretionary spending. Automate this. Don't rely on willpower. Selective budgeting means you're not tracking every category like some corporate accountant. Focus on the big ones that impact you the most. Control those and everything else falls into place. Time optimization is about creating routines to manage your systems effectively on a weekly, monthly, and quarterly basis. It actually frees up time because you've defined your check-ins and can then devote mental space to the other important areas of your life. Willpower is a limited resource. You've got a finite amount every day, and it gets depleted. Relying on willpower to manage money means you'll fail eventually. Systems remove willpower from the equation. And if you want the full feast system, you can enroll in my course today by hitting the link in the description. It's a 5-week course with dozens of modules, templates, and tools to help you get your financial infrastructure in place so you can start making next level moves with money. Let's talk about building assets, even when you're starting in your 30s or 40s. The math is simple, but not always easy. If you're 35 and want to retire at 65, you've got 30 years. If you invest $500 a month at an 8% average return, you'll have about $730,000 at retirement. Bump that to 1,000 a month and you're at $1,400,000. 1,500 a month, over 2 million. The earlier you start, the easier it is. But starting later doesn't mean you can't build real wealth. It just means you need to be more aggressive with your savings rate. If you're starting late, you can't afford to be conservative with your investments while you're still in your accumulation phase. That doesn't mean taking dumb risks. It means being aggressive with how much you save and choosing growth-focused investments. Max out your retirement accounts. If you're self-employed, you can do even more with a solo 401k or SEP IRA. Hit those limits. Real estate makes sense for roofing pros. You understand property, you know contractors, you can evaluate deals. But you need to approach it intelligently. Don't buy rental properties hoping for appreciation. Buy properties that cash flow from day one. After you pay your mortgage, taxes, insurance, and maintenance reserves, you should still be making money every month. That cash flow is what builds wealth, not hoping the property doubles in value. Start small. Maybe a duplex where you live in one unit and rent out the other, or a single family rental in a solid working class neighborhood. Get your feet wet, learn the game, then scale from there. The goal isn't to replace your roofing income immediately. The goal is to build passive income streams that eventually give you options. Maybe in 10 years, your rental properties and dividend stocks cover your basic living expenses. Now your roofing income is pure profit. That's when life gets interesting. But don't get distracted. Your main income engine is roofing sales. That's where you're making the bulk of the money. Side income is great, but not if it comes at the expense of your primary income. Wealth building is much mental as it is mechanical. You need the right mindset or the mechanics won't matter. Social media makes this worse than ever. You're scrolling Instagram, seeing other reps posting about their new Raptor, their vacation in Cabo, their weekly golf rounds, their fancy watch collection. It's easy to feel behind. Here's what you don't see. The debt behind those purchases, the stress, the fights about money with their spouses. You're comparing your behind-the-scenes reality to someone else's highlight reel. It's a rigged game. Your only competition is the person you were yesterday. Are you saving more this year than last? Are you investing consistently? Are you making smarter financial decisions? That's what matters, not what someone else is driving. Motivation is great. Motivation gets you started, but motivation fades. You know what doesn't fade? Systems and discipline. You're not going to feel motivated to save money every month. Some months you'll want to spend it all. That's when discipline and automation save you. Your money moves to savings automatically whether you feel like it or not. Discipline is doing what needs to be done even when you don't feel like doing it. That's the difference between people who build wealth and people who just talk about it. Stop saying, I'm trying to save money. Start saying, I'm a person who builds wealth. That's an identity shift. When you see yourself as a wealth builder, your actions align with that identity. A wealth builder doesn't blow their commission check on stuff they don't need. A wealth builder automates their savings. A wealth builder invests consistently. When it's who you are, not just what you're trying to do, everything changes. Now here's the hard truth. You won't see results immediately. You'll save for months before your emergency fund feels substantial. You'll invest for years before your portfolio balance looks impressive. That delayed gratification is what most people can't handle. But compound growth is real. The money you invest today will double in about 10 years at a 7% return. Double again in 20 years. That's 4 times your initial investment in 2 decades. But only if you stay consistent. The wins aren't daily. They're yearly. They're decade long. You need to be okay with that. Let me share what actually worked for me and what I learned the hard way. Here's something I noticed early. The habits that made me successful in sales were the same habits that built my wealth. Consistency, discipline, delayed gratification. Playing the long game. All of it applies to both. The best sales reps don't chase the easy closes. They know those will come and go. They build relationships and trust because they know it pays off long term. Same with money. You don't chase quick wins. You build solid foundations because you know it compounds. When you're confident about your sales process, you close more deals. You're not desperate. You're not pushy. You present solutions and let people decide. Same with money. When you're confident in your financial plan, you don't panic when the market drops or have a slow month in sales. You don't chase every shiny investment. You stick to your strategy because you know it works. That clarity, knowing what you're doing and why, is what separates winners from everyone else. Roofing taught me that big payoffs require patience. You don't close a $50,000 deal in 5 minutes. You build trust, you follow up, you handle objections. Sometimes it takes weeks or months before a lead converts. Money works the same way. You don't get rich quick. You get rich slow. You save consistently. invest patiently, and let time do the heavy lifting. The reps who try to force quick closes lose deals. The investors who try to get rich quick lose money. Every time I leveled up my financial game, it required personal growth first. To save more, I had to develop discipline. To invest wisely, I had to educate myself. To avoid lifestyle inflation, I had to get comfortable being different from everyone else. Your net worth rarely exceeds your personal development. If you want to build more wealth, become the kind of person who builds wealth. Read books. Learn from people who've done it. Work on your mindset. The money follows the growth. If you're starting late, you're still early, because most people never start at all. Roofing sales gave me the vehicle, but mindset, systems, and discipline turned that income into freedom. Your story isn't behind schedule. It's right on time if you start building today. Tighten up your cash flow, master your habits, and use your roofing income to buy your freedom. That's the game. Don't waste another season just earning. Start building. Enroll in the Feast course and build your system today. Watch where your next few years can take you. And if this video helped you see your financial situation differently, subscribe for more real strategies built for roofing professionals who are serious about building wealth. I'll see you in the next video.